Right now at 10, the former principal of Sun Prairie West High School is charged. We have the latest following an investigation into child sex crime allegations at the school.
And protesting ICE, why UW-Madison students say they're against federal agents on campus grounds.
And asking the state for more funding, why 5 school superintendents say they cannot keep up with the cost of inflation. That's all coming up on News 3 Now at 10. Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Sarah Carlson.
And I'm Eric Franke. The former principal of Sun Prairie West High School has now been formally charged.
Jennifer Ploger faces 3 counts of failing to report child abuse. Sun Prairie police announced earlier this month that they referred charges against her following an investigation into former Dean Robert Gilkey Messigeyer. The investigation found that Ploger was told multiple times that Gilkey Messigeyer had inappropriate relationships with students, but she wrote those allegations off as just rumors. In other news, the Wisconsin Department of Corrections has fired an employee and suspended 2 others after Morgan Geyser escaped from custody last November. Police say Geyser left a group home and cut off a monitoring bracelet. She was later found in Illinois and extradited back to Wisconsin. 3 employees were subject to personnel investigations after that escape. 1 was suspended for 5 days without pay, another suspended for 3 days without pay, and a 3rd was fired. Geyser and her friend Anissa Wire stabbed a classmate 19 times at a Waukesha park back in 2014.
Some major shakeups with the Trump administration after the shooting death of Alex Preddy over the weekend in Minneapolis. Some of the 800 Customs and Border Protection agents sent as part of a larger federal force are now leaving. That includes Border Patrol Commander Greg Bovino. Now on the ground, President Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, sent to manage operations and work with local leaders.
Meeting with the governor, and he's meeting with the mayor.
Any decrease in the numbers and the severity is just a huge relief to the community that's been suffering for months now.
Now, President Trump says he'll be paying close attention to the investigation into Preddy's death. The investigation comes as those who knew Preddy remember his kindness.
I remember Alex being one of those kids who was liked by everybody. He had a spirit and a personality that people gravitated towards and wanted to be around. He had a very infectious smile.
One of the things that he always did was brighten everyone's day with a joke or a witty comment.
Now, Preddy's younger sister released a statement today saying in part that the disgusting lies spread about her brother after his death were, quote, gut-wrenching, and that her family is grateful so many people have stood up and helped tell his truth. Hundreds of people gathered on the UW-Madison campus tonight as part of a growing series of anti-ICE protests across the city.
Demonstrators say they want university leaders to take a stronger stance in support of immigrant students. Our Merritt Rosen was there and has more.
As you said, Madison is ignited with anti-ICE sentiments from the Capitol all the way to UW-Madison's campus. Hundreds of students gathered on Library Mall this evening, voicing their concerns with immigration and customs enforcement and calling for greater protections for immigrants.
Struggle, one fight.
One struggle, one fight.
All unite for immigrant rights. All unite for immigrant rights. No hate.
The sound of hundreds of UW-Madison students filled Library Mall, making their message loud and clear.
We will not put up with ICE.
People united will never be defeated.
The people united will never be defeated.
The protest was organized by Students for a Democratic Society, who are calling on UW-Madison to become a sanctuary campus.
In cities like Madison where there's less ICE activity, I think it's really important for people to still be talking about it and being informed on what's happening, even if it's not happening right in front of you.
Protesters say the demonstration is about raising awareness and making sure people don't look away.
I just hope that everyone knows how severe it is and that it matters that they show up and say something.
Despite cold temperatures, students say it was important to show up and be seen.
Even though it is incredibly cold and even though we are freezing, it's really important to show up to events like these, to support people who organize events like these, because silence is compliance, and if you don't say something, then it will only continue.
For many students, the turnout brought a mix of anger and hope.
I'm just really proud of my peers for coming out here when it's so cold and I think this is really important, and I'm really angry, but I'm also so happy to see that so many people are here.
Protest organizers say they plan to continue pushing for UW-Madison to declare itself a sanctuary campus.
We need to have empathy for all of these families affected, and we need to remember that they are human, too.
Centro Dane County, a local Latino organization in Madison, established an immigrant defense fund in 2025 to provide legal resources and support to immigrants across Wisconsin. And they are encouraging community members to donate to help continue that work.
Well, it's Maren Rosen reporting. By the way, you can donate to that immigrant defense fund at their website, which we mentioned, Centro. It's micentro.org/funds.
And now a check on that forecast. A very chilly day out there. We keep talking about it getting better, Alex, just one little step at a time.
One little degree at a time. How about that one, Sarah? What do you think of that? Temperatures, yes, right around 10 today. They're going to stay right around 10 for the next couple of days, which is our normal low temperature for this time of year. But when you look behind me here, there we go, a few degrees by a few degrees by a few degrees. As we head a little bit later into the 10-day forecast, we're going to see temperatures back up to normal. I mentioned a couple times today during the newscast, normal isn't a word that I've said too often over the course of the past couple of weeks. Not normal tonight, with temperatures getting down just below zero in many cases, down to -2 in Madison, Camp Douglas, -1 in Janesville. And as we plan Wednesday, even though the sun will be out, our temperatures not going to reflect very warmly as we head throughout the day. Temperatures again right around 10 in Camp Douglas, 12 in Madison, 13 in Janesville. But we're getting there. We're making some progress. We're at least getting rid of some of that deep bitter cold slowly and surely. Right now, temperatures 1 in Madison, 2 in Camp Douglas, 3 in Janesville, so single digits above zero for now. And then the wind chills out there, they're not too terribly cold in some parts of southern Wisconsin, hanging on at 1 in Madison, but -14 in Camp Douglas. We can't shy away from that. And when we wake up tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, wind chills between -5 and -15. Some areas are going to close in close to -20, but that's not quite alert day criteria, and I don't think we'll see cold weather advisories issued in southern Wisconsin with this continuation of very cold conditions, but we'll slowly work our way out of it. When I come back in a little while, I'll let you know as we move out of the bitter cold and towards the warmer temperatures if we have any snow in the forecast. That's coming up in a little while.
All right, Alex, thank you. Today, President Trump threw his support behind Congressman Tom Tiffany in Wisconsin's 2026 gubernatorial race. The president calling Tiffany a, quote, advocate for the working men and women of the state. Representative Tiffany launched his campaign for governor back in September. There's only one other Republican candidate for governor. That would be Washington County Executive Josh Schoemann. The Democratic side of the ticket has 9 candidates seeking that party's nomination.
We need relief now. That is what the superintendents of Wisconsin's 5 largest districts, including Madison's, are saying in an urgent letter to the state legislature today.
And our Armand Rahman sat down with the head of Madison Schools about why he says the state needs a better funding solution here, Armand.
Eric and Sarah, it's a rare joint message that Dr. Joe Gothard tells me he doesn't believe has ever been done before, but it becomes because the state is reporting a $2.5 billion surplus at the end of this budget, and after school funding referenda resulted in the single biggest increase in property taxes statewide.
We just cannot continue to go this way.
That's what Dr. Joe Gothard and 4 other Wisconsin superintendents are saying in a letter written to state lawmakers. They say inflation has made feeding students, powering schools, and covering employee health care more expensive, but general state aid has not kept up.
Districts like Madison and many others have had to ask their local communities to fund public schools because the state hasn't done this for years.
Now, in Madison, property owners did just see their taxes jump after approving $607 million in school referenda. While on track to help with MMSD operations for 4 years, Gothard says without enough replenishment and funding from the state, that money won't last long.
You know, we don't stay flat in terms of the money that we invest in our school system each and every year. It goes up by a certain percentage, whether that's staff salaries, whether that's the cost of utilities.
10% of MMSD's funding comes from general state aid, while districts in Green Bay, Kenosha, Racine, and Milwaukee get almost 70% of their costs from the state.
That is a huge discrepancy. Now, people will say it's because the property value in Madison is greater, which is true. But I can take you to schools in our community that are struggling to meet the needs of students, and I don't know that the equalization formula works for all students in Wisconsin.
Another formula educators say does not work, the special education reimbursement approved in the last budget, a fixed amount of 42%. But advocates say it uses old data and needs to be adjusted for when costs rise.
And for us, that translates into $3, $4, $5 million. And we're already subsidizing our Fund 27 Special Education Fund with $64 million.
Gothard worries if more is not invested into the state's schools, soon students may have to pay the price.
We always like to say that we'd like to keep it away from students. It impacts students, whether that be transportation route, whether that be some of the extracurricular activities, whether that be a little bit larger class size in one of our schools.
Now, Governor Tony Evers did recently propose a roughly $1 billion plan to provide property tax relief and increase K-12 funding. Wisconsin Republicans say they'll negotiate once he overturns his 400-year veto, which allowed school districts to increase their per-pupil spending limit by $325 each year for the next 400 years.
Armand, thank you. Wisconsin Republicans are proposing new ways to invest in the state's youngest residents. A new bill would give every eligible child born in Wisconsin from 2025 through 2028 a $1,000 state contribution into a federally established child savings account, and that would match the $1,000 federal deposit. Supporters of the bill say even small family contributions could eventually grow into seven-figure retirement savings.
Just with mom and dad skipping one quick meal or one small luxury a month lets their kids become a millionaire.
Republicans say they tap into the state's $1 billion surplus for those funds.
Also tonight, the Madison School District is changing how students will learn throughout the year. This new system is called standards-based learning. Teachers will track students' progress with sayings like developing or advanced. Students will still receive that GPA and traditional letter grades during the middle and also end of every semester.
Village of DeForest says the proposed QTS data center there is not feasible. The village says after individual discussions with board trustees, staff are recommending the village president reject the annexation petition. It was back in November. QTS proposed transforming a plot of farmland into a 1,600-acre data center campus, leading to some backlash from local residents. DeForest's next village board meeting is set for February 3rd.
News 3 Now is asking for your help tonight in supporting the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund through our Week of Warmth. Out of every dollar that is donated, 95 cents will go directly to help those in crisis who need to stay warm and safe. This all leads up to our telethon Friday as well. If you would like to donate, you can scan that QR code on your screen right now. We also have a link to our donation page on channel3000.com.
Just ahead at 10, Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, the victim of an apparent attack tonight. We'll show you what happened and how she's doing.
And President Trump touts his economic achievements. This as fallout continues over the second deadly shooting by federal agents in Minnesota.
Alex is also back next. Another look at our chilly conditions for the rest of the week.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
A man attacked Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar at a town hall meeting tonight in Minneapolis.
Video captured him spraying an unknown substance at her. This happened just seconds after she called for DHS Secretary Kristi Noem to resign and then she said she wanted the abolishment of ICE. The man then rushed to the podium. You can see yelling. He was yelling at her, appearing to spray that substance through a syringe. It was unclear what the substance was or whether it actually hit her. He was taken into police custody.
President Trump is working to shift the focus now to the economy with a speech today in Iowa. A recent CBS News poll finds a whopping 74% of Americans say the Trump administration is not focused enough on lowering prices. The president stopped at a restaurant in Des Moines outlining what he considers his administration's economic accomplishments.
We have $18 trillion coming in, building plants, building auto factories, building AI factories like no other country in the world has done what we've done in the last year.
The change in focus for President Trump comes after this weekend's deadly shooting of Alex Preddy in Minneapolis. A CBS poll conducted before the incident found 61% of Americans were saying that ICE is being too tough when it comes to stopping and detaining people.
Now turning to our weather, it has been a chilly week so far across our area. And Alex, we're hoping that we don't have snow to add to that one.
Just a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit. Nothing over the course of the next couple of days here, but as we head out towards the weekend and as we move from from the bitterly cold temperatures back to the warmer temperatures. In between, we're going to get a little bit of weather. And in this case, we're going to get just a little bit of snow as we go from Sunday going on into Sunday night into Monday. And you could see that here reflected really well. There's the bitter cold Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Then as we head towards Sunday, temperatures inching up towards 22, and then we see the temperatures continue to march their way up to normal by the time we get out to the middle and latter part of next week. -2 for a low temperature tonight. That's not normal. That's a good 13 degrees below normal if I did my math correctly. It's so a cold night tonight in southern Wisconsin. Temperatures are going to stay on the cold side as we head into Wednesday, right around 10 to 12 in southern Wisconsin, maybe a 13 or a 14 out towards the Mississippi River. And those current temperatures right now, actual temperatures, 1 in Madison, -1 in the Dells, 1 in Viroqua, and 3 right now in Janesville. Now look at 1 in Madison, and the wind chill is 1. That means we have no breath of wind out there right now, at least in Madison locally. But that's going to change as we head into the morning hours. Look at this, -5 to -15 wind chills Wednesday morning, Thursday morning, and Friday morning. So all 3 carbon copies of one another as we go through the next couple of days. But we probably are not going to see that cold air, cold weather advisory criteria being met. While we could get down to -20 in a couple places with the wind chill, it's likely not going to last hours and hours for the National Weather Service to issue one of those advisories. Nonetheless, still going to be bitterly cold over the course of the next couple of mornings, particularly with those winds gusting at times 5 to 15, maybe upwards of 20 miles per hour. A little bit less than Thursday. Winds come up just a touch as we head into Friday again, back up to around 50 mile per hour wind gusts. And it is the winds with the actual air temperature. Look at the little yellow box to your right over there between -5 and -20. What that means is we're just pushing the cusp of, if you have exposed flesh outside, that it can freeze within 30 minutes. So please still take some breaks over the course of the next couple of days with these bitterly cold temperatures hanging around. Although it is incremental, it's just a tiny bit of improvement. And those snow chances Sunday, Monday, and then again Wednesday of next week. But let's focus on maybe next Friday. How about 30?
It's going to feel like summertime.
I know. 30. We were -46 the other day for that wind chill, or at least about -46 in some cases, and then 30. So that's a 70-some swing easily with the feels like factor.
The people in shorts, of course.
Of course.
We'll see it. Thanks, Alex.
Yep.
All right, well, this week, News 3 Now is partnering with the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund, asking for your help heating the homes of those in need this winter. Our week of warmth kicked off yesterday at Vortex in Barneveld. And while there, we spoke with a member of the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund who is a veteran about why your donation matters.
If you just think about what we went through just the last couple of days, can you imagine going a cycle of winter, summer, every year and have the same problem where you don't know if you're going to put your pay for your rent, where you're going to have a roof over your head, you're going to have heat, or you're going to have to decide to get your medicine or even eat. I mean, all of that, I just think, is absurd for our veterans.
And you can donate to the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund right now. 95 cents of every dollar goes directly to helping those in need. You can scan the QR code, or you could always find all the information you need on channel3000.com.
Leading up to our telethon coming up on Friday as well. Andrew is here now with a look at sports.
Yeah, an exciting night still to come in sports. Drake Baldwin keeps making Madison proud. His latest achievement on baseball's biggest stage, next on News 3 Now.
And now, News 3 Now Sports, brought to you by TDS Telecom.
When you think of a sport, just one sport to associate with the states of Wisconsin and Minnesota, I wouldn't say it would be football or basketball. It has to be hockey, which is why, for my money, anytime you get a Badger-Gopher border battle on the ice, it just means more. For the Badgers riding a season-long 4-game losing skid, they don't need any more motivation, but they've got it, especially if you're from Minnesota.
Obviously, it's a rivalry game. Everything means a little more. They're going to be ready to play, but yeah, it obviously means the world to be able to be in one of these rivalry games.
It's one you circle on the calendar at the start of the year, so I think we're really excited for the opportunity to play in an exciting arena, and yeah, it should be a great test.
It's awesome. It's especially last year. You know, you grow up going to a few Gopher games, but being on the ice and being the enemy is a pretty cool feeling.
And you can watch both of Bucky's border battle games Friday and Saturday free and over the air on our sister station, Television Wisconsin. And if that's not enough to get you ready for it, watch the Wisconsin Huddle with this guy, Quinn Finley, and myself, Friday night at 6:30 on News 3 Now. Well, Drake Baldwin is a huge Wisconsin hockey fan. In fact, as a senior at Madison West, he was considered one of, if not the best hockey players in our state. But choosing baseball, I'd say, worked out just fine. The Atlanta Braves star catcher formally accepted his Jackie Robinson National League Rookie of the Year award at the Baseball Writers Gala this weekend, an award that he says means more to him than just baseball.
A lot of people to thank. I mean, first off, thanking the writers for this incredible event and for voting for me. It's really been an incredible experience, a dream come true to be up here. To be able to win the Jackie Robinson Award as an African American is pretty special. Just some recognition for him being able to allow me to play the game I love. So pretty cool.
To the football field where Wisconsin's schedule is finally out. The good news, it's not the gauntlet that it was last year, but the bad news, it's no cakewalk either. Bucky opens the season at Lambeau playing Notre Dame. Then they'll open Big Ten play at Penn State, where they haven't won since Jim Leonard did that in 2003. On October 24th, USC will visit Madison for the first time since 1965. Oh, and then there's those trophy games. Wisconsin will look to win one of those for the first time since Luke Fickell's first year with Wisconsin in 2023. Let's hoop. Bucks in Philly looking for their first game without Giannis and trying to make it a win. Early on, it was the Miles Turner show. He cans the triple to tie things at 9, but that's the last time it would be that close. From then on, the Sixers rang the Bucks bell. Paul George had a game-high 32, and Milwaukee keeps making us sad. They lose 139 to 122. But Alex, he doesn't make us sad. He makes us happy. And the good news, we'll see him in just a moment next on News 3 Now.
Getting a degree and a degree warmer by the day, huh?
Each day, a little bit more, crawling our way, a little bit by little bit out of this deep freeze, Sarah, and southern Wisconsin will finally get out of the grips of the real Arctic air by the time we get to the weekend. Little trade-off, though. Have a little bit of snow Sunday, especially Sunday night going on into Monday with the weather system, but that weather system's not looking like a big one, not looking at a big winter storm anytime soon. And then those temperatures finally getting up to, and I haven't used this word a whole lot, normal. They're going to be normal for a few days later next week.
We can all feel normal. All right. Thanks, Alex. And thanks for watching, everyone. The Late Show with Stephen Colbert is up next.
Our next newscast tomorrow at 4:30 in the morning. You can always find us streaming 24/7 at Channel 3000+.